Hey there, fellow creators, Ben here from Timbra Studios, and this week, after last week's very large painting tutorial, let's just do a quick tip this week, so it'll be nice and, well, quick. So in my videos from time to time, I'll talk about it's important to read what's on the information that's on the back of your paint tube, or sometimes the front, depending on the brand. And I don't think I've really talked about exactly what those different things are. They're actually kind of really important to know, especially if you're going to be buying a lot of different brands and different paints and really kind of shopping around for your paint a little bit more. So on a standard tube of paint, you have, well, one, like this, for example, just like the color of the paint. So in this case, it's red oxide. And then between the back and the front, you're going to have some different information on the tube. First and foremost, usually, is the pigment information. For red oxide, that's PR 101, so PR, PY, PO, basically pigment, and then the colors of red, orange, yellow, green. And then a number code. Now, I talked a little bit about the Pigment Database in a previous video. You can check that out, probably in the card up in this corner somewhere. A really useful tool, especially if you're going to be buying different names of paint, different colors across different brands. That way you know you're getting the same color across different tubes of paint. Another thing you're going to find is light fastness. Now, the light and fastness rating is usually a little bit different for each individual brand. They kind of give it a code, 1 through 3, 1 through 4, something of that range. And that's just going to tell you basically how durable the color is over the long period of time. Now, most professional grade paints have sort of a like 1, 2, 3 rating, which is generally pretty good. I mean, even like the sort of ones that tend to fade more maybe don't have the durability over the course of 20 years versus over the course of 30, 40, 50, whatever, however long they've been testing it. So it's important to kind of know that. If that's something you care about specifically, I would say if you're doing anything with tube paints and doing more anything that requires like outdoor exposed use. Indoor exposed use, not so much. At that point, you're just getting sunlight and any atmospheric changes, smoke, whatever it happens to be, that might damage the painting in the long term. But again, the changes a little bit depending on which brand. So you want to check with the individual manufacturer to know what their specific light fast rating is. Another thing you're going to see on a tube of paint is some sort of opacity code. Now, for Golden's tubes, they have these little sliders in sort of the top. They tell you a lot of things: tint strength, transparent versus opaque, matte versus gloss finish. Not all paint tubes list that much information, which is why I do like the Golden stuff. But you may find, again, just things like that. The opacity, this was it's a cadmium red from M. Graham. At the very top of the back of this one says opaque on it. For something like a watercolor, it might just be listed opaque or transparent. This one says transparent, light fastness 1. Some other tubes, though, you might have little blocks. I'm going to see if this actually, yep, there we go. It's probably not going to autofocus, but these tiny little blocks, and it'll be either a solid square for opaque, and a blank white one for transparent, or one that's sort of half and half, and that'll be semi-transparent or semi-opaque. And that's really sort of the bulk of what's important to look at on a paint tube. Specifically, I would say most important of that was going to be your opacity, specifically depending on what type of paint you're getting. So whether you're buying an acrylic, something like a watercolor or a gouache, or even some oil paint, or even an alternative oil paint, all of that information is always listed somewhere on the tube or package or whatever you happen to be buying. Again, if it's a jar, it's going to be on the jar somewhere. All paints list this, at least in terms of paints made for artists, list these things. So pigments, light fast, opacity, and then sometimes a little bit more information depending on which manufacturer you're buying from. But this is really valuable information, and the more you start to kind of look at your paint tubes, not only the ones you already have, but the ones you see in the store, you can make better decisions into what kind of paints you're buying. Specifically, when I go and get a new color, and I don't really know, maybe I haven't seen a demo online or anything of showing off that color, I'm like, was this an opaque color? Is this a transparent color? How am I going to use this? Well, you can actually get a lot of that information just by reading the tube itself. And I think it's really important and really valuable to do so for all of you. So that's about it for this little quick tip. Go ahead and hit the like button and share it if you learned something. If you want to see more videos like this, be sure to subscribe here to Timbra Studios. And if you want to see more of my artwork and the things that I do to utilize a lot of these techniques and things that I show in the videos, you can check that stuff out in the description box below. Links to all my social stuff and official website are there as well. So as always, if you said all that stuff already, and this has been from Cinderblock Studios, keep on creating, and I will see you guys next time. Also, I know someone's probably going to ask in comments, but my shirt says, "Guns don't kill people, psychotic bears with machetes do." It's by an artist by the name of Sebastian Millen. Love the guy's stuff. His work is simultaneously cute, but horribly inappropriate in a lot of ways. And I absolutely love it. I just realized I happen to be wearing this shirt in the video, and it probably looks really weird without the lower half of the shirt in focus. So, yeah.